Hey guys, Bill here from Northcoast Cigar Review, and we are here with part 2 of the Greycliff Crystal review. We call this one the Burn, and tonight we're going to go ahead and light this up and see how she does. Just a quick recap of the first episode. I gave you some background on Graycliff itself, the construction of this cigar, some specs, my overall observations, and just my general thoughts on this nice looking cigar here. So I ended that first review giving the cigar a 7 out of 10. Thinking possibly could go to an 8. And I'm thinking lighting this here in a second that's probably going to push that 8. So let's go ahead and get started with part 2 of the Graycliff review, the Burn. Now, I did mention in the last episode, this cigar does have that shag foot on it. So this is going to change how I'm lighting this cigar. Normally, I would use my butane torch to light one of these, but I'm a little concerned that if I were to overburn any part of the tip of this shag foot here, I may get a run. And if you get a run on a cigar like as nice as this, it could just ruin that experience for me, and I'm not looking to do that. So I'm kind of gonna break away from the norm here, and I'm gonna use a Bic lighter on this. And I know people are gonna freak out, shouldn't use a Bic, but I got a little bit of a breeze. I don't think matches are gonna work too good because lighting this evenly is gonna be super important. So let's go ahead and get this started. We do have that torpedo tip on the Graycliff. A normal cutter, probably gonna take a few swipes off that. Looks pretty good, right? All right, let's see how we do here. Wow, okay. So right off the bat, different than I expect, okay? Typically, cigars this color are going to be a little spicier. That is incredibly smooth. Wow. All right, so shag foot definitely makes a difference. I was a little skeptical based on what I had seen that, you know, lighting the shag foot, it's going to give you this filler tobacco flavor first, then getting into the binder and the wrapper. I got to tell you, it's impressive. Very little spice note in the front, which typically you get on cigars, like I had mentioned before. Very smooth, unbelievably smooth. Big, good smoke. You can kind of see the smoke coming off the cigar there. Every cigar smokes a little bit differently. You'll get some that do smoke a lot, some that don't smoke at all. But that's a good trail of smoke right there, which is something that I do like. So I'm going to puff on this for a little bit, see how the flavor profile changes as we go through it. And I'll be back here to tell you some thoughts as I get about a quarter way through. Stay tuned. All right, guys. So we're a quarter of the way in, and I gotta tell you, she's impressive. However, she definitely's got a bit of a split personality here. So the initial probably 7 to 10 puffs on this cigar were incredibly smooth. However, once we got to the binder and wrapper, major spice notes kicked in, and it got very spicy. Very much reminded me of a Habano wrapper. A lot of kick to it. And then it settled down. So it settled down, and now we're getting a lot of leather notes. I could taste like some cedar almost. And believe it or not, almost like a dark chocolate kind of taste in there. So it's got a very wide array of flavors in the flavor profile there, and the amount of smoke coming off this thing's just amazing. You know, I had mentioned with that shag foot that one of the things I thought might have been that Graycliff was going for was that old Havana, old Cuba look on the cigars. And the amount of smoke that I'm getting off of this, the plumes, and I know it's kind of hard to see here under the light, but it really looks like that old time, old school cigar, kind of what you would have thought of when you think cigar, you know what I mean? A lot of smoke there, but it is quite nice. It definitely is a heavy medium to full flavor though. So if you're looking for something that's going to be a nice easy smoke, this is not the cigar. That's not something you're going to be using while you're golfing, while you're fishing, things of that nature. This is a cigar that you're going to want to enjoy after a nice meal on your patio, as I'm doing right now. Maybe with a nice bourbon would be really good probably with this cigar. I myself, just because it's the first time having it, I'm strictly drinking water to keep my palate true. But it's very nice. It's not getting overheated, which is something that I thought may happen because of the actual part of the build of this cigar I had mentioned. It's not overly hard. It's a very soft cigar, not to the point where I feel gaps, but it's definitely a softer build. So I was worried about overheating, but no, it's doing great. And what I had mentioned with the foot about over burning part of the shag and having the cigar run, I had some of that happen. But as you can see, like any good cigar, it self-corrected itself. I mean, that's the sign of a very nice build. It's holding the ash very well. The ash is very tight. Pretty impressive, pretty impressive. So I'm going to keep going on this. I'll be back here in a few to let you know how it is about halfway through, because every good cigar tells a story. Every chapter is different, and this is no different than that. So I'll be back here shortly to tell you what I think of the rest. Alright guys, halfway through, and it's like I said this before, it's a phenomenal cigar. It's holding its own. The flavor profile itself has stayed pretty consistent. A lot of, like I said, a lot of leather, cedar, there's chocolate notes in there. It's getting a little warm, probably because I may be over puffing on it, just trying to get a sense to see if it's going to change at all. You know, I put out like 10 common missteps with cigars a couple weeks ago, and over puffing was one of those things. And I, just like everybody else, tend to fall victim to that, because you get into a cigar and you really tend to like it, and you over puff on it. But it's doing very well. It is definitely, I'm going to go full cigar, full flavored. This is like smoking a ribeye. Very, very strong. I feel like the flavor profile is getting stronger as we go. So it is very nice. Again, a cigar you're going to have to sit back and enjoy, take your time with, to really fully appreciate the true beauty of the cigar. Now, I had mentioned the run before and how it's self-corrected. It's tending to run a little bit. I got some what's called canoeing. Is when you start to get more of a U-shaped run there, and all you do is you lick your finger kind of and try to cool down that spot. So I've been doing that as I've been going through, but overall, like I said, it's still a fabulous cigar. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy the rest of this. I'm going to come back here next and kind of wind it up, let you know my overall rating on this bad boy, and my final thoughts. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so just about done with the Greycliff Crystal, and I gotta tell you, it is a fine cigar. Everything that I thought it would be has played out. It is full flavored cigar. The construction, as I said in the first part of this review, looked to be very good, and it played out that way. Taste profile was very complex, the Grecian tobacco, that tobacco from Greece, really did cut down on some of the bitterness in the beginning of that cigar. The shagfoot let the beginning puffs on this cigar be very, very smooth. And then as it progressed through, the flavor profile changed, became much more of what we're used to in a full flavored cigar, and it held its profile throughout. Cigar smoked quite a bit as far as the smoke coming off the cigar, which I do really enjoy. Overall, great cigar. You know, I gave it a 7 out of 10 as far as my initial review on it after smoking the Greycliff Crystal. I'm going to give it the 8. I'm going to push it to the 8, making it 8 out of 10. So an overall thumbs up on the Greycliff Crystal. If you're interested in finding the Crystal, like I had mentioned before, not something you're going to see in your cigar shops, but it is going to be available through your online venues. Check out Cigars International. I do know that they do carry this cigar in sampler packs, in 5-packs, and in boxes. So definitely check out Cigars International if you want to pick up the Crystal. Overall, great smoke. Now, for next week, we have something very special that I'm going to be reviewing for you that was given to me to review specifically for Northcoast Cigar Review. It's a Gurkha. A lot of you have had Gurkhas. Gurkha's a great cigar. Many different cigars in the Gurkha line. This one's very special, though. This cigar is a cognac dipped. Looks like a beast. It's a pretty long cigar. And the beast I've had before has been phenomenal. This one is dipped in cognac, and not just any cognac, guys. But pause for dramatic effect here. This cigar's dipped in Louis Trey. Yeah, Louis XIII cognac. Very expensive, very pricey. I was very lucky to get this cigar. That's going to be what we have in store for next week. So thanks for watching. Again, thank you for everybody who has liked and shared the page. The page has been shared over 50 times this week, so that's phenomenal. Let's keep it growing. Thank you to all the members of Northcoast Cigar Review. We're up to 25 members in a week. Let's keep it growing. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. And remember, smoke them if you got them, guys.